I want to welcome you all to the start of today's sessions, which continue a series of conversations that went on yesterday. This is a 2-day event, but it's a long-term investment that we're making in the college to bring to the forefront of our students' attention and to the extent that we can, our communities as well. Some issues that are often difficult to talk about, but it's important to know that they're very real in the lives of people who are affected by them, and also that there's really good work going on to address them in pockets of need sprinkled through our region. And the problem is that we don't have as much density coverage with that often nonprofit kind of or volunteer organization support. And so there's a need to build that out further. And part of the way in which that happens is that we come to understand what kind of good work is going on and how it's being accomplished, and who to contact if you want to help build it out even further. So one of the background goals here for us is to cultivate more internship opportunities for students that would allow them not only to engage in a really valuable learning experience, but also to contribute to the building out of an increasingly effective social justice network, really, of activism and advocacy and spreading of awareness and trying to cultivate more structured responses to these kinds of problems. So our first speakers today come to us from the Nest of Peace Life Center, which is long-standing, well-recognized community activist and advocacy oriented group of people who make headlines every once in a while by making an issue prominent enough that it needs to be taken up by our community and civic leaders. And I think their work with homelessness has been a real seminal achievement for them because it has, for whatever reasons, it has actually become kind of a community interest in the civic level, and they're working with a big task force to try to figure out how to define the problem, because it's all in how you define a problem, how you then approach solutions to it. And just like global warming has a lot of different ways you can define a problem, or climate change does, so does homelessness. And so there's a kind of a civic tension right now about how to really take up and address that problem. But their work has been really important in moving forward out into the forefront of our attention, community attention on homelessness. So they're going to speak today about addressing homelessness and poverty through grassroots efforts. And I welcome them. You want to come up together or one at a time? It's up to you. This is an empowerment.
Good afternoon, Stanislaus State. How's everybody doing? Who's a student? Raise your hand if you're a student. Okay. Teacher, faculty. Okay. Good. Nice. Maybe some of the activists in the community. Okay. That's good. All right. So I'm Joe, and this is Leng Power, and we're from the Peace Life Center, and I'm here to talk a little bit about homelessness. We're not going to go into a lot of detail. I'm sure there are a number of classes you can take, but just talk about my experiences. I both volunteer at the Peace Life Center and work at a local nonprofit with the homeless. And then Leng's going to talk a little bit more about the Peace Life Center specifically and the programs around homelessness and alleviating homelessness that we have. So I guess I want to start, though, not with us, but with a documentary project. It's a quick video. In working with people experiencing homelessness, which is how we prefer to term it. Not homeless people, they're not permanently homeless. Often they're just experiencing homelessness. We want to talk to the people themselves. So as much as we would have liked to bust some people over here, we thought, well, we have this documentary project and we'll just show it. So, and I do want to say Richard Anderson and John Lucas, they're the ones that headed the documentary project. So keep them in mind as we watch this quick video.
I was about 7 when I realized that I had to find an alternative way of getting by every day. My parents were just unfit. They were alcoholics. It led up to me becoming a ward of the courts, and the system started placing me into group homes, boys' homes, foster homes, and then finally went to a boys' home, which really was just isolation from all my family, which became home.
I worked with stem cell food for 46 years. So I went on vacation, I came back and they told me I was fired. I said, why is that? Because the paper was not correct. Well, the boss told me it was. Why? He told me, see, I came back June 6th. I've been homeless for a year already.
A scenario of bad situations, pretty much. I was working for a plumbing company, and he moved his company out of state, and I couldn't follow him. And so I lost my job, and in turn I couldn't pay the rent, and so we lost our house, and I couldn't find a job quick enough to pay for the rent or get us back up and going. So we pretty much had to consolidate our things and move on.
I was in a severe car accident back in 2010. It was a rollover and ended up causing permanent damage to my spine. Since 2010, my life has been dream. I really don't look at it like homeless because my own dad has never actually had a home.
I'm now homeless for 3 months, and I agreed to be interviewed for this. I became homeless because a few years back I got lied to by management people. Then I got evicted because I still was on the property manager who hit me. I am currently staying at the mission for right now. My 30 days is almost up. And then I'm going to have to be on the streets after my 30 days is up.
Why I'm homeless is because of basically barely any jobs coming out for people my age, which I'm 24. My family has money greedy problems, and they kicked me out, and I had mental problems too at the same time.
I particularly don't like being homeless. I've been homeless for almost a year and a half now. My wife is a U.S. Marine, and she died, and I've been having trouble getting her benefits because we have trouble proving that I was married to her, even though I was married 23 years to her. And I don't want the money for myself, I want it for my children. They deserve it, not me. But I'm homeless because she died and they foreclosed on her home. I lost everything,
I have a stage name actually. My nickname is Cowboy Swag, which is G's. I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own everything. I believe in God. I preach a lot. I preach from the street. I'm homeless. I'm homeless because somebody robbed my family. And my uncle went to prison because he was the victim. He went to prison for 4 years, and now I'm stuck homeless, and I have nowhere to go.
How did you become homeless when you first became homeless?
I made a lot of bad choices, and I had moved here from Alaska. I was in an abusive marriage, and moved here with my family. I was not right in life. I had no self-esteem. I had no goals. I had no. I had made some bad choices. I hurt my family very much.
And my situation was I had my own business, a door company, and was doing very well. And the stress, though, of it over years and plus family history of mental problems, I snapped. Started drinking, which I never had a drinking problem in my life, but mine was attributable to mental problems, drug and alcohol abuse, and then working through that.
My health. I lived within a senior citizen home. She retired from work. She then availabilized herself to take care of me, so I had to move out. So I went into a homeless shelter.
Just from that video, there's so much to talk about. I mean, they cover some of the root causes. We really don't have enough time to digest all of those things, even though that would be ideal. I want to start with the word, so homeless. So one interesting thing about this is that there are a number of different agencies, like you can think about Social Security Administration or the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or even like, the term homeless that you might be using on a daily basis. They're not always the same. Department of HUD, Housing and Urban Development, for example, somebody is doubled up living with somebody else in their car, somebody that's staying with somebody else in a shelter on the street. So you might actually know somebody that is homeless or has been homeless for some amount of time. It's really not that uncommon, and I quote Kevin Carroll of the Gospel Mission, who says that you're really only like 3 paychecks away from homelessness, like if you lose your job or something. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the efforts in the county and kind of how we're a little bit different. So who's heard of Focus on Prevention? So it's a county facilitated effort, but it has to do with a lot of different nonprofits. And the point is to better coordinate services, to make sure that those who need the housing and need services receive them as quickly as possible, which is a really difficult thing to do, actually, when many of the people that you might be working with live on the side of the river, or they live in a rural part of Stanislaus. There's a real challenge of reaching people who are experiencing homelessness in order to get them services that they might very well be qualified for, aside from some of the other challenges that present themselves. So Minnesota Peace Life Center is a nonprofit, and gosh, we've been going, for like 45 years, and Leng will talk about that a little bit more. But basically, we just saw a need. One person in particular, Frank Luke, saw a need for ID cards, identification cards. It's really key if you want to apply for disability benefits. Say you have a permanent disability that prevents you from being able to work a certain number of hours per week, in whatever job, you could apply for benefits, but without some kind of identification, it's really not going to happen. Same goes if you want to use a number of other services at Community Services Agency, our welfare office on Hackett Road. So Peace Life Center saw a need, and they created a program around that need for the ID cards. But there are so many different, and Elaine's going to talk about that more specifically a little bit, but there are so many different needs. In my own work, one thing I recognize is there really isn't a place where you can get utility deposit assistance. Like if you move into a place, it often costs like $200 for like utility deposit, and they don't always advertise that very well. But there are a lot of different places, like if you're interested in just seeing what's going on, and somebody called me the other day, like, what's going on in Turlock that I can donate to or participate in. We have We Care Turlock, which is the local shelter here. And I know Turlock Gospel Mission is going to open soon. I don't know if it's already open. But there's so many places to plug into if you're interested in learning more and talking to people, which is really what I recommend, to most people. And don't do it, don't if you see a big group of people at the park, and you don't really feel comfortable approaching them, don't. But maybe if you see somebody and they seem nice, say hi. That's something to try to stress is most people are people too. So great. Also, a little word. I think it's great to do work where you are, but I think sometimes some groups say some efforts are more grassroots than others. But I really think that we all work where we are, doing what we can. And so I want to say that. Okay, cool. Thank you. Also, I just want to talk about a few problem areas and service gaps that even existing nonprofits or county agencies or other agencies, federal agencies, are just really not addressing that well right now. Just the other day, in fact, Minnesota covered an article, and it was about certain illegalities associated with being homeless. Right now, so if you camp at a park, you're definitely liable to being ticketed. And Turlock is, so far as I understand it, like they've created like a diversion program so that if you get one of those tickets, you can work it off, like if you don't have any money. So some communities are working more towards creating like a better solution for people. But I mean, still, I mean, recently in Modesto, there are a number of like panhandling signs that were put up in different areas. And my understanding is they were put there because it's a safety issue. You know, maybe you don't want somebody stopping like an intersection. But you know, in some cases, this is really all you know somebody has to like make money for like a hotel. You know, if they don't want to stay on the street that night. So yeah, it's just, and there's so many other laws like this too. And actually, they've only been passed within like the past decade. Like they have not been there for that long. And yeah, and if you keep an eye on the BE, like every now and again, there are sweeps to different parks. And most of the federal agencies, or like National Healthcare for the Homeless or National Alliance to End Homelessness, I'm just tossing a lot of names, but basically organizations like this, you know, regularly talk about how ineffective sweeps are. You know, they're not good for the people. They're often a waste of community resources and taxpayer money. But you know, in many cases, they just address and alleviate concerns that some in the community have about what they think homeless people are doing. So just, you know, also service gaps, like I said, like you know, if you're on, if you have a family, it's a little bit easy to get certain benefits, say through CalWorks. But if you're like a single adult individual, it's actually somewhat difficult. And not even talking about like housing availability, like the availability of like affordable housing in Stanislaus County. So anyways, and there's so many great organizations out there, but I definitely always encourage people to, some are a little bit more based on like being in a specific group or identifying with a specific faith. So it's always great to be very inclusive. Anybody can use anything. I just want to talk about a few myths and facts associated with homelessness. Homelessness is a result of poor individual choice. Homeless people are all drug addicts. I mean, this is not that uncommon. I hear this all the time. But there are a lot of things: poverty, unemployment, lack of affordable housing. You know, I can't tell you how many people I know that have benefits, but they just can't find a place. Poor physical or mental health. Drug and alcohol use is certainly one of them, but as that last interview told you with Carl, you know, he was dealing with stress and maybe, so there are all these things going on, and you know, maybe he didn't manage them well or whatever, and so it kind of developed over time. But it, you know, to say it was just like the alcohol is like a real, you know, really simplifying, and I think it's very easy to do that. So I would just be careful, you know, if you read an article, hear somebody talk about it, and just be critical about what they're saying and how they're talking about it. So gambling, family and relationship breakdown, that's a really key one, especially in like, you know, if you want to talk about the difference between like rural homelessness and urban homelessness. Like rural homelessness, often you can stay with your family, like if you don't have a place, but you know, say you're not on good terms with your parents or something like that. You know, they're probably not going to have you stay. So that definitely causes people to, you know, not have shelters. Domestic violence, physical and sexual abuse. And these all come just from I'm not making these up, they come from the Salvation Army website. If you just type in, you know, why are people homeless? You know, really easy. And, you know, Salvation Army, they do a lot of great work. So, yeah. Just a few other ones. There aren't that many homeless people. Homelessness isn't really a problem. In Stanislaus County, I don't know if we think that, but, you know, there are like 564,000 homeless people in the United States. That's a lot of homeless people. And there are definitely studies, I wish I could reference one here, but, you know, as you see like rent go up in certain places, like the amount of homeless people like follows it. So it's really not, you know, in some ways it's difficult to see where it's coming from. But the homelessness is not, and when I heard these, I was pretty surprised. So like, homeless persons are 3 to 4 times more likely to die than the general population. And the average age of death, and I can't believe this, like studies reviewed, is between 42 and 52 years. And I'm quoting this article. I didn't write this article, but these are all easy to find articles. So, average life expectancy of almost 8 years in this country. So, if you're homeless and if you've experienced it for a long period of time, you're probably going to die a lot sooner than other people. So, it's bad. And one other one, homelessness is inevitable. There will always be homeless people. I don't really have a great quote for this one, but there was this cool book that I found about the origins of homelessness in America, and it's called Down and Out, and it's by Peter Rossi. He just talked about how homelessness like radically increased during the Great Depression, which is not that surprising. Okay. I also just want to talk a little bit, and I'll get out of here soon, but about the words that he used for homeless people. And I was reading this book, I can't remember the name of it, it's John Steinbeck book about labor organizers. But, he was put in jail for like being a vagrant, the character in the book. So there's this long history, I don't know it that well, but there are all these like moral associations with being homeless or not having a job. And, some of them are very natives. I just think I think it's kind of interesting. But, okay, and then trauma. I just want to talk about trauma and homelessness. So, and this comes from an article entitled Addressing Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Caused by Homelessness. Being homeless can actually cause PTSD. And you don't have to do the whole quote, but one, first actual event, becoming homeless can lead to trauma throughout the loss of stable shelter and family connections, and might serve as a breaking point for those who have pre-existing behavioral health conditions or history of traumatization. So once people are there for a while, it's kind of that much more difficult to get out of it. So I know a lot of the efforts in different counties have been focused around trying to get people out of homelessness as quickly as possible or preventing that from happening in the first place, like those who might be at risk of being homeless, identifying that, and sometimes it's just, helping people out that that you think they're in a bad situation. Okay, so there are a lot of ways you can get involved. There's some events coming up. One is the Stanislaus Homeless Persons Memorial. So if you just want to talk to people and kind of get a feel for how many people are out there, this one's in Modesto. It's at the Bavarian Shelter. It's coming up. It's on the 21st of December at 7:15 p.m. And it'll be fun. I strongly encourage you to bring a bag of socks or a coat to donate if you have anything like that. Also, Peace Life Center has a movie night on December 14th, 2016. It's at and I'm happy to email this PowerPoint to anybody. I'm going really quickly. It's at 6:30 p.m. And it's about a documentary called Dogtown Redemption. And it's about a documentary of Oakland recyclers. So people that make a living just pushing the cart around and picking up cans and bottles. And it's kind of a tough thing. So if you're interested in the topic and how people survive in sometimes really difficult conditions, feel free to come to our movie night. You're more than welcome. We have a center in Modesto. It's at 720 13th Street. I'm sure you're okay. And then Homeless Action Council, third Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. That's associated with Focus on Prevention and County Effort. It's just a great place to meet people, kind of see what's going on in the community, and see what you might be able to do. Everybody has, your skills and abilities, and just bringing them to, collaborating with other people is really the way to make those work in the service of homeless people. Okay, I talked about a lot of this. You can volunteer. There's something called a point in time count when they walk around and just ask people questions about homelessness, and we just try to get a sense for how many homeless people are out there. In Stanislaus County, it's been about 1,400 for the last few years, so far as I understand it. Even though a lot of people are doing a lot of good work, so that's something. Attend an event, hold an event, volunteer somewhere, start a program. Like I said, utility deposit assistance. If you know any landlords strongly encourage them to consider non-ideal candidates, and maybe work with the county on that and focus on prevention, because there are a lot of people that are good people and need a place to stay. And that's pretty much it. This is just resources, different organizations. I'll email this or give this to, okay. And that's it. And that's my name and email. Thanks.